Good afternoon, you're listening to BBC's Asian Network with me, Shazia Awan. Our next guest managed to overcome blindness to become one of the world's most sought-after sitar players. And not just the sitar, he also plays the tabla and pakwa. He's worked with the biggest names in Western music like Stevie Wonder and Massive Attack, as well as Eastern musicians such as Anijo Chaudhry and Ustad Faiz Khan. And he's receiving an OBE from the Queen this Friday. Of course, I'm talking about Baluji Shrivastav, who's releasing his latest album this week. Thank you so much for joining us, Baluji.
Thank you very much indeed, and namaste, adab, and sat sri akal to everyone.
Namaste. And a busy week. You're getting an OBE and you're releasing your album.
Actually, I've already got the OBE.
Oh, okay.
From Prince Charles.
Oh, okay.
It was a wonderful experience for me, yes.
Yeah, when did you receive that?
10th of February.
Oh, 10th of February. Oh, there we are. I've got a little error there. I thought you were receiving it this Friday. So, how does it feel to have a new album out? It's incorporating a lot of your work, isn't it? It's sort of like the best of Baluji.
Well, so-called best of Baluji, yes. It's also best of Inner Vision. It has got two groups, myself and... Of course, Inner Vision is also playing. Inner Vision is an orchestra, which is my baby. And it has got old people visually impaired, just like me. So I thought everybody should be, like me, and they should also get the most popular like I am. Thank you.
Of course. So you're renowned the world over, Baluji, and you have worked with some of the biggest names in Western music, like as I said, like Stevie Wonder and Massive Attack. Who has really stood out for you as a collaboration?
Ooh, lots of people. I mean, I worked with Massive Attack and I worked with Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder songs. They're wonderful. And who stood out for me is Inner Vision, myself, and Para Orchestra. And it's also, how can I say, lots of musicians. They're all wonderful musicians, they are all wonderful people. And yes, I was, when I was working for album of, what's his name? Boy George, for example. And I came from the taxi and he received me. And it was very nice welcome. And I really enjoyed working with him in the studio. And also I worked with Massive Attack, as I said. I was driven from London to Bristol in taxi with my old instruments. And I worked there about 5 hours, and after that someone comes and says, it's wonderful, it works. And then somebody else turns up and says, could be a little bit mellow. And I said, why didn't you tell me before? And anyway, it worked, and it's a mezzanine, the teardrop. So Fantastic. I've really enjoyed working with them.
Now, Baluji, you weren't born into a musical family. And indeed, you weren't born with visual impairment, were you? You became blind
after the age of 8 months.
After the age of 8 months.
It's almost born blind.
Yeah. So, what was it like, Baluji, being blind in India from that young age, and then pursuing a musical ambition?
Well, I think I didn't notice any difference because I was blind at almost the born blind, so I didn't notice any difference, and I was always blind, and music was my life. It just started when I was 1.5 years old, 2 years old. I used to just play music on cups and balls and plates and everything, whatever I could find, and I was very rhythmic, and sometimes parents were fed up with me. There were lots of noises I was making everywhere.
Now, tell me, Baluji, a little bit about this music foundation that you've set up, because you're going to play the sitar for us today, but you play an array of instruments, don't you? How important a part do you think music can play in helping people cope with their disabilities?
The music is the for me, music is the important part of the everyone, not only for disabled people. Music is the life. Music is everything. Music is born before us, and it never ends. For me, music is the flow of the blood, and the melody is the flow of the blood, and the rhythm is the heartbeats. So music is there within us all the time. Music is in the air. Music is in the earth. Music is in the fire. Music is in the space. Music is in the water. Music is nature, in the nature itself. So for me, nobody has to learn music. Music is there. We breathe music.
Baluji, you've got such a way with words. Music is within us all. On that note, I think it's a perfect time to hear your track, Nartaki.
Nartaki.
Good afternoon, you're listening to the Asian Network with me, Shazia Wan. I've been joined in the studio by Baluji Shrivastav. You heard one of his tracks there, and he's here with his sitar. He's got his album coming out this week, and Baluji, you're going to play Indian in London for me, aren't you?
Yeah, part of Indian in London, yes.
Take it away.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Baluji.
Thank you very much indeed.
That when you were saying before we went to your track that music really is in all of us, I think anyone listening to that would have really felt it. There's a lot of power
Thank you.
in the music, isn't there? So that was a part of Indian in London, and
Yeah.
this is on your new album, The Best of Baluji.
That's right. So if you want to listen full Indian in London, go to my CD.
Absolutely. Now, you performed with Coldplay, Baluji, at the closing ceremony of the London Paralympics. What was that like? Did you play something similar to what you've played for us?
No, it was a composition. Well, I don't remember what I played. Just I played something which was given to me. Some notes were given to me, and I played them. It was wonderful playing, and I didn't realize that Chris Martin was sitting right next to me, and the same way cross-legged as I was sitting.
Wonderful.
So I was told later on, and it was wonderful experience for me. And hearing so many people, but whatever, 80,000 people. So when I was playing, I didn't know there were 80,000 people. When I finished, I heard so much noise. Amazing.
Was that one of the biggest crowds that you've played to in the UK, Baluji?
In UK, yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, but in Spain also I played for about 25 to 30,000 people. Yeah, the biggest crowd was the 80,000 people.
Wow.
That was only in the stadium there, but the other people were watching me on the television, so it was a much bigger crowd, of course.
Now, you've set up the UK's only blind orchestra. How difficult was it to set that up, Baluji?
Well, I was very lucky to come from one tourist city, Agra, which is very famous for Taj Mahal, to come to London, which is again a metropolitan city. And going to the different conferences and different places, I found a lot of lovely blind musicians. And I thought, why not to have an orchestra which involves all over the world in London? And also the idea came to me from the taxis. When I used to travel in taxis, I had to hear Indian music, Turkish music, all different kinds of music, Arabic music. And luckily for me, I found all these musicians here. So I've got Japanese musician, Takashi Kikuchi, Ziad from Lebanon, and Ferishte from Iran, and so it's Victoria from Nigeria. So all the nationalities are there.
Baluji, how did you first discover that you had this phenomenal talent for music and being a very gifted musician?
Actually, when I was 3 years old, my father was taking me to a doctor to see the eyes, and I sang a song on the train, because it's very famous in India, if you're blind, you got to be a musician. You got to sing something. And people asked me. So I sang a song, Bhagwan tujhe main khat likhta par tera pata malum nahi. So I could write your address. So I could write you a letter if I knew your address, God. And that was very moving song for everyone. And that's my parents discovered that I'm a musician. So then I was put in my first blind school, where I used to play harmonium and sing. Then in the blind school I learned to play different instruments like taisya koto, and then I picked up my first instrument, sitar.
You became a music teacher initially, didn't you, Baluji? How did you find that?
Well, I used to teach, even when I was not music teacher in my school, to all these girls, ladies who were 4 times older than me, and used to appear in Master of Music and BA in Music. And I used to teach them without even knowing that I was teaching them. I was just helping them. And when I came to Agra, I joined. First time I was asked to join Khalsa school, a school of Sikhs, where I went with someone just as a friend. But the headmistress saw me and she wanted me to sing something. And she gave me the job instead of him. And he was not very happy about it. But I can't help it. And since then, I got the job. That was a primary school. And then I got the job in next primary school. And then I got the job in inter college. And then degree college. And where I taught 10 years. Sitar. And I used to compose also orchestra. Lots of compositions I've done there. So that's how, and I found it fascinating because I was only a blind person teaching in sighted school, 1,000 girls. So that was wonderful experience for me.
Playing with 1,000 girls, I'm sure. Wonderful.
Yes.
Baluji, can I ask you to play a little bit more for us on the sitar? Tell us what you're going to play for us, please.
Sure. Now each time I play something different, I have to tune. So I keep saying to everyone that Indian musicians get paid for tuning, not for playing.
What are you going to play for us next?
So I'll play part of the last track which is on my CD. Oh, what is it called? I don't remember, but...
On the best of Baluji.
Yeah.
And the track, I've got it here, is called Dun Barvai.
Dun Bhairavi.
Your pronunciation's much better than mine. Dun Barvi.
Dun Bhairavi.
Take it away, Baluji.
Thank you. Normally this track is played on two instruments, sitar and surbahar, which both instruments I played. And Sanju Bhai is going to play tabla. He's going to play tabla in my concert, which is first concert going to happen in Rich Mix.
So that's Rich Mix on Sunday the 26th of February. That's in Bethnal Green, and tickets are £12 for that. So if you'd like to get along to that, get onto the Rich Mix website. For now, Baluji, take it away.
just to remind our Asian audience, it's very similar to a song, Aja Teri Yaad Aayi, something like that. And so it's very close to that film song.
That was beautiful. Baluji, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here in the studio. That was Baluji Shrivastav, and he'll be launching his new album, The Best of Baluji, at Rich Mix on Sunday, the 26th of February.
Also launching the tour, the whole tour.
You're listening to me, Shazia Wan, on BBC's Asian Network. Before that track, you heard me talking to Baluji, who will be launching his tour when he launches his album on Sunday the 26th of February at Rich Mix. Sorry he got cut off there before we went to the track, but that's what he was going to say a little bit about his tour. And I'll be coming back with my next guest to talk about some of the smells in East London, and we'll do that after this track.